It's time for us to take a look at some of our news from around the country and around the state of Alaska. Beginning with a national story, it looks like the Green Party is going to be filing officially for a petition for recounts in 3 of the states that gave Donald Trump his Electoral College victory. The Alternet.org reports that those recounts are going to be in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, less than 12 hours after Jill Stein, that's the Green Party presidential candidate, announced this. They had already raised $2.4 million toward those efforts. The decision to file for a recount comes after some behind-the-scenes efforts to verify the votes, some allegations of possible hacking, and these presidential swing states. Basically, the reason why the Clinton campaign decided not to go with filing for the recount, apparently because they would have to win all 3 in order to actually win the election, and maybe they just wanted to wait and see what the Green Party was going to do. If you'd like to read more about that, you can go to Alternet. SBS News out of Australia notes that President-elect Donald Trump is not going to push for further investigation of Hillary Clinton related to her private use of email, and also the Clinton Foundation and the play-to-play allegations. Remember, he was leading his supporters in chants of lock her up, promising to put her in jail for her so-called crimes. Now he's completely backed off of that. Rudy Giuliani, who is a vice chairman of Trump's transition team, told reporters the decision not to investigate, well, that's kind of inconsistent with the tradition that after the election that you just kind of put things behind you. Meanwhile, MSNBC reported that Kellyanne Conway, that's Trump aide Kellyanne Conway, has confirmed that he will not be pushing for any more investigation into Clinton. TheDailyBeast.com notes that there's been another chemical attack in Syria, this time with 6 people killed, an entire family. A mom, dad, and their 4 kids who were trapped in a bomb shelter could not escape when the chlorine-laden canisters were dropped on them. When a film crew from AMC was there, showing the lifeless corpses of the girl and the 3 boys, their faces discolored, eyes glazed, mouths wide open. A man repeatedly asks as the camera films, "Where are the Arabs? Where are they? If the Arabs were united, Bashar wouldn't have done this," unquote. Al Jazeera notes that the Turkish military has said that 3 of its soldiers have been killed and 10 more wounded in Syria by an airstrike, allegedly launched by Syrian government forces there. And in times of Israel, we see 75,000 people have been evacuated from the town of Haifa as it continues to burn. There have been allegations now that this is caused by arson terror. 8 countries have sent planes in to combat the blazes. These are huge, like wildfires. And some of the Palestinians even dispatched their own crews as well. Meanwhile, reports of up to 8 people being arrested as suspected arsonists throughout Israel. The National Post in Canada carries a commentary about military procurement being treated like a political contest, layered in secrecy and overspending. Is this the first time Canada has had military procurement? Daily Mail out of the UK notes that the military parade for Donald Trump has come early. 2 months before Inauguration Day festivities, an extraordinary number of recently retired generals, including some who clashed publicly with Obama and his policies, have been seen, again, publicly, with Trump apparently negotiating about their positions in his cabinet. The tilt toward military officials may be reflecting a limited pool of civilian options, as many of the officials from previous Republican administrations have officially publicly disavowed Trump. However, the questions about the proper balance of military and civilian advice in the White House, that's something that's being raised. Once again, you can read more about that at the Daily Mail. And one last article from SBS out of Australia noting that the world's coconuts are in danger, and it's going to be really hard to save them because it takes 5 years for a coconut tree to come to maturity. Plus, they grow up to 25 feet tall, which means that in order to keep them from pollinating too early, you have to climb up on the top and put some covering over the female plants. I don't want to get too graphic in how this works, but basically it's a dangerous work to do. And at this point, there's a lot of work ahead. And for people like me who like pina coladas, that's some disturbing news. Anyway, that's Steve Floyd. I am online. If you check me out at my website, radiofreespeech.com, you'll find today's podcast and more, plus a 30-minute version of the news on audio file only. If you'd like to download that for free, check it out for yourself at radiofreespeech.com.